What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about quarter one earnings for NIO. We're going to give you our updated information, everything we know about it, and we're going to, talk about, should we buy the stock? Should we buy more? Should we sell? What should we do? Before we hop into that, just hit that sub button. It's the best way to support the channel. We're trying to hit 4,000 subs by the end of this month. We're really pushing it here. Let's see if we can make it happen. Also, link in the description for the Patreon if you guys want to hop into our Discord, get access to our portfolio and the Discord portfolio that we're starting up as well. Also, we're going to be pushing merch out. We've had a couple people ask about it. We've been kind of about it. But you know what the hell? If you guys want some, we're going to post it here soon. We're waiting on some samples to come in to verify it's not dog water. And after that, you guys can have it if you want it. Honestly, we're just going to put it there. We're not asking you to buy it, but some people have asked, so we're putting it out. But without further ado, let's give some razzle-dazzle and hop into it. So let's start off with the market recap, and then we'll kind of work from there. So NIO today started off really strong because of the quarter one earnings.
That was up like 7%.
Right. It wasn't because of the quarter one earnings. It was because of the quarter one delivery results. But like you said, it was up 7% starting this morning. I thought we were blasting off, honestly. But we finished the day at 1.75%. Did not hold, which I kind of felt like it was going to be a thing because a lot of people, I feel like every time the stock runs up, it pulls back. Every time. Every time.
Especially pre-market. If it's up really good pre-market, there's going to be a sell-off.
Right.
Like I expected that to happen.
I mean, 7%, a lot of people are probably taking their money from buying back in the 30s.
Yeah, just buying yesterday.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. If we look at the stock, clearly, again, we saw it run up. We opened up, it was like 38 or 39, like what it ended at yesterday. And then it opened up this morning at, let's go ahead and pull back here. It opened up this morning up in like the 41 range.
I got up to 42.
Yeah. Absolute nonsense getting all the way up that high. And then it pulled back all the way to 39, 39 and a quarter, but we ended the day at 39.70, I believe it was, 39.66. And then right now it's sitting down about 0.38% aftermarket, which I'm not too concerned because of the fact that, the aftermarket hours doesn't really concern me until the morning, pre-market. So so hopefully it holds.
It does look good though, because the previous support line was like $35, and like today it was kind of bouncing off the mid to upper like 39s, like 39.40 to 39.60. It kept hanging around there and didn't want to really go lower than that. So that would be nice if around 39.50, let's say, is the new support line. That'd be all right.
Huge. Big ups would be big steps.
I mean, $5, almost $5 up from the last support line.
Which would be fantastic. That's what we want. That's what we want. We got diamond hands over here, baby. This is what we want. But let's go ahead and hop over to, whether or not you should buy. Again, we're not going to tell you guys to buy. That's not what we do here. We just kind of give you guys the facts and information on whether or not, like, pretty much what we're doing. So I'm obviously out of money. Like, I've spent so much money on NIO, it's ridiculous. I probably have more NIO than I probably should in my portfolio, personal portfolio. But that's not the point. That's not the point here. So NIO, the RSI, is still below that 50, which is where you want to see it. It pretty much tells you how much it's either overbought or oversold. And usually when it's above the 70 and right here in this green range, it's completely overbought and it's going to sell off, which it's exactly what happened. You want it to kind of hang around this 50, and we're still below that. So that tells me that it's still oversold. People are buying back in, but it's still, I think, still oversold. I think this thing has huge potential here. Even these, analysts that are giving it, $70 to $100 price targets are, clearly still think this is a solid stock. But we are below the 50-day moving average, obviously, because, right now it's sitting at $49 and we're at 39, just under 40. So obviously that 50-day moving average is going to keep coming down even if we go above it. You usually want to see that hang around that 50-day moving average. Once it hits it, we used to see it bounce off the 50-day moving average, but obviously crap got real here at the beginning of the year and it tanked off. So
I mean, if you look at that chart though, I mean, it looks like it's shaping up to be a nice W-shaped recovery. Hopefully.
Right.
It's the start of it, at least. Looking pretty good.
Right. Well, it did get real close though, that 200-day moving average, which should not be good.
Yeah, that's not good.
But luckily it's going back up, and hopefully, like you said, it's a W-shaped recovery, and this is where it heads, and this is what's going to happen. And then if we look at the full STO down here as well, again, you want to see it hang around the 50 mark, and every time we see it hit down towards this 20, it bounces off. you know, there's that W-shaped recovery again that you're saying as well. So hopefully it keeps going. That's what we want. Yep. So again,
it's heading in the right direction. Everything's going in the right direction right now.
Right. So if I'm buying Nio, I think now is a good time. Obviously, I still think below this $40 is still a steal. Yeah. Like, this is going to look real good at the end of the year. I think this thing's going to easily push 75 plus. I'm hoping more towards 100. So anything, I still feel like anything below 50 is still a steal. And, you know.
So if you've been waiting to buy, I would just, you know, as we always say, dollar cost average. But I know I keep saying it, but I would assume we would get a red day here soon. So that's when you know, you would throw in your first little chunk of money, I guess.
Right.
Because there's got to be a red day coming up. I mean, if not, and there's just green days, then just throw it in and wait anyway, I guess.
Right. The dollar cost average is the best way to prevent yourself from getting burnt in a situation like that. You know, break up your payments into a little bit of chunks, throw a little bit at it, give it a couple days, give it a week, give it a month, throw a little bit more at it, you know, average up, average down. And that's the best way to make the most out of your money without burning yourself, because you throw it all in right now and it drops 6% tomorrow because we ran up 7% today, you know, obviously until market closed. But like, you know, over the last 2 or 3 days, we've gone up like 7-8%. So just think, if it crashes 10%, you're out 10% of your money. So obviously dollar cost averaging in is the best way to protect your money at all costs. And I personally feel that that's the best way to enter a stock if you're not already in it. But let's get into the meat and potatoes here, chat. The meat and potatoes of this is what basically we did our math on deliveries for Nio and how they are looking as of right now for Q1 on just deliveries of the base model cars and no extra, you know, types of revenue income. We did this for Q4 of 2020 in a video, you know, a month or so ago, and we weren't very far off of what Nio actually reported. So fingers crossed. Let's see if we can do it again, you know, see if we can get 2 quarters in a row that are somewhat close.
Yeah, I'm assuming we're going to be on the low end here, but I would rather be on the low end than the high end.
Oh, for sure. I think we're for sure on the low end because, again, this is all base model, no extra revenue of any kind.
Right, yeah, this is just cars, not revenue from anything else. So it should be higher than this.
Right, hopefully. So if we look at January, February, and March of 2021, this is what we predicted for Q1. Obviously, month one, January and February were solid numbers. They gave us those numbers. We were predicting the March numbers here. So if we look at the March numbers, we were estimating off of their 19,500, and Nio killed it, man. They delivered 20,060 vehicles in the Q1. So that gave us like 7,000 or so vehicles. Obviously it says right down here, 7,200 vehicles for the month of March. So we were actually on the lower end of this when we were predicting, so which is, I guess, the safer side. So we basically added all the numbers up for the car sales for the month, and we came up to a total of Q1 of $1.08 billion for Q1. Well, that's actually going up because of deliveries. Again, 7,200 vehicles delivered for the month of March, which is fantastic because they crushed it, absolutely crushed it. But what got me was the fact that they sold more ES6s. They sold 43% of the ES6s, which we were kind of hanging around the 40% range in the previous months. So that's actually going up. And the I believe it was the ES8s were going down just a hair. Not crazy, but just enough to make a little bit of a difference. But we kind of corrected that now, and for month 3, March, we updated it to $405 million for the month on just base model car deliveries, which gave us a new Q1 number of $1.12 billion. So clearly they're going up, which is fantastic. That's what we want to see. And that's an 18.5% increase from Q4 of 2020. So
yeah, that's pretty good, making like an 18.5% increase from the last quarter. Like, that's to me, that's really, really good.
Right. I do think that's fantastic. And
I mean, a lot of people are happy with 18% in a year. This is just a quarter.
So, and that's where I don't understand the people that come in and naysay, you know, Nio saying like, hey, this company's not doing anything, they're dead. Like, clearly they're not. Clearly they're not.
Those are the people that are salty when they bought at 60 and sold at 35. So
right. I'm not gonna lie. I own a couple Nio shares at $60, and yes, it hurts, but I'm gonna be fine at the end of the year when this thing's at $80, $100. You know, I'm still thinking, I'm still really strong on Nio being anywhere between $70 and $80, $100. You know, by the end of the year. So that's what I'm banking on. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. So, and you got anything else to add?
No, I was just gonna say a lot of analysts think it's gonna be at least 70. There's like, I think at least 5 in the 70s, and there's even like 1 in the 100, like 100. You know, price target. So a lot of analysts think it's going to get that high as well. So it's, you know, it's not just us being crazy or something.
Right. Yeah, oh, fingers crossed. There's only one way to find out, and that's to sit and wait. And while we're waiting, you might as well snag it up. You know what I'm saying?
Well, right. Especially at these cheaper prices. It's crazy if you didn't buy more into the 30s. Like, what are you doing?
It's gonna look real good when you're sitting at $80. When Nio's sitting at $80 and you bought at $40, it's gonna look real good. Yeah, right now it sucks. You know, looking at it, it's just up, down, up, down. But where's it going to be at in a year? You got to think long term. That's what we think. We think long term. We're just putting our blinders on and either buying more or just not even looking for the day because you're going to cry and it's not.
I've been looking the last couple of days though. This has been real good.
Yeah, it makes you feel real good and warm and fuzzy on the inside. But that's pretty much going to wrap up this video. If you guys like this kind of content, hit that like, share, notification bell, all that good stuff. It helps us grow the channel. And again, we're trying to hit 2,000 or 4,000 subs by the end of this month. So if you guys can smash that sub button, it's the best way to support the channel, honestly. And then link in the description for the Patreon if you want that. And just, again, keep an eye out for the merch if you guys are interested in that. Again, we're not pushing it on you, but a couple people have asked, so we're going to put it out there. So again, thank you guys so much, so very much for the 2,000 subs and the support. We'll see you guys in the next video.